What is up, my dudes? Dino John here, back at it again with, you guessed it, my Dinosaur deck profile, guys. I'm actually very excited to showcase you guys this deck profile. I know it's been long coming. I know I play Kashtira recently, and you guys have seen that. Been playing other different decks as well. But honestly, guys, I'm back with the Dino grind. I'm very happy to showcase you guys this deck profile. I put in a lot of work. I play tested this deck a lot. And honestly, guys, I'm very comfortable. And honestly, I'm gonna take it. I'm gonna start play testing this a lot more, showing you guys a lot more videos. I'm taking this deck to locals. I actually took this deck to locals recently and been getting a lot of success with it. So honestly, I'm very excited to showcase you guys this deck profile. I went to locals, Cleo TCG. Shout out to him. I play test this deck plenty of times over there. Got a lot of wins. The loss that the only loss that you really have with this deck, unfortunately, is droll. So if they do droll you and you don't have a response to that, or you don't play around it ahead of time, it does kind of hurt the deck. However, this deck is very aggressive, and honestly, like guys, I'm so excited to showcase you guys this deck because it's not what you guys have been seeing. And this is actually like really new some new stuff in there with keeping Dino's original. Okay, it's also throwing a little something, but it's necessary. Okay. Honestly, guys, without further ado, I'm chit chatting a lot, but yeah, let's just get on this deck profile again. Huge shout out to Cleo TCG. I've been going out different locals as well. Honestly, guys, this deck I've been practicing a lot, playtesting it a lot, and it's so busted, guys. Oh my gosh, you have no idea how excited I am to showcase you guys this deck profile. But let's get started with the monsters. Okay, first we're playing triple Soul Eating Overraptor. So far it's gonna look similar, but then things are gonna change up a bit. All right. Soul Eating Overraptor. Again, guys, I don't kind of really need to explain it. This is the Dino channel, so I know you already know this card's busted. Rhoda, Foolish Burial. This card does everything, guys, and oh my gosh, it's nuts. One Misk. I'm asking for this card to at least come back to 2, Konami. At least it's not yes, it's broken. Yes, it's broken. I do agree, but you ash it. Like if I banish it, and you ash it, I am kind of like screwed there a little bit. I can still play, but I'm still screwed there a little bit. So I mean, the argument that this card's like, it's the end of the world. It's not true. It's literally not true. This card's it's safe. It's safe to play this card. I'd say it's safe to come back to 2, honestly. But yeah, Misk is busted, and honestly, like I cannot tell you guys. I literally cannot tell you guys how many times my opponent did not read Misk. Okay. I cannot tell you how many times with this card that I either normal summon Soul Eating Overraptor with Misk on play, right? Or not even summon him, right? Let's just say I'm just using his pop effect, right? And I already had Misk. I already activated Misk previously. And they would like impermanent. They would waste their they would start wasting their hand traps on it or like other cards on it, and I'm like, okay, you can't do anything. It's just crazy that nobody really pays attention to Misk. And I think that's the really good feeling, I guess, for Dino players, right? But this card is so good. But honestly, it can come back to 2. But yeah, that's just my honest opinion. Love Misk. All right. Double Animador. Love this card. Again, pretty self-explanatory. This card's amazing. Just the fact that you can add pill and pop a card. And you have access to UCT, it's crazy. Triple Baby. Really good card. Okay, so I did cut down Petite. I didn't want to cut Petite. I did had 2 babies and 1 Petite. The problem with that is that there's sometimes, especially with this build specifically, that you would kind of want the baby to kind of start off, because there's times where you have like kind of weird funky hands. And at least there's times where you're gonna want to pop this off to bring Animador out, just to get that UCT access. So Petite can't go to Animador. I know it can't, and the way my deck is structured, it just works a little bit differently. So 3 of these is actually very necessary. However, I am trying to fit Petite in here, but honestly, it's so. I mean, again, like I still need to play test this deck a lot more. But honestly, so far, Triple Baby, it's at a good number right now. Speaking of the devil. Literally the best monster of the game. I don't care what anyone says. Best boss monster in the main deck. Guys, this card's amazing. The fact that it can Book of Eclipse, the fact that it can just attack all monsters, the fact that it doesn't even need a pop. It can just send. So, and inflict damage. So, guys, like this card's nuts. And the fact that you can literally just either banish 2, special summon it, or you can just pill it out. Yeah, this card's nuts, guys. Honestly, like, you guys have no idea how much I love this card. I love it. I mean, I love every card in this deck, but UCT is just so broken, guys. You have no idea how many games I won off of this, especially in time. This card is also a time killer too, and it just saves you so much time. And I'll tell you this: everybody has to respect this. So whenever I played it, they just respect it automatically because they knew that no matter what they did, I was just gonna Book of Eclipse their whole board. So, I mean, this card's nuts. Or Book of Moon, you can say, but Book of Eclipse kind of like targets everything, right? But I guess it's like versus only on your opponent's side. All right, so then I'm also running the Zeno, the Meteorus, sorry, and then one Frostosaurus. So honestly, I go to this guy more often than this. Because there's a combo you can actually do with this, and it's actually very nutty. The only problem, guys, that I will tell you is you kind of have to be aware of droll. Because if you go this route and they droll you, you're kind of screwed unless you have a backup plan. If you go this route, they drill you, that's fine. You can still end up with 2 negates. Well, actually, theoretically, 4 negates with this route. So if they drill you, you're fine if you go this route. But this is a better route. It is a better route. Honestly, adding the normal monster is just, it's really, really it's honestly, it's disgusting. The end boards that you can do with just adding this alone, and it's just a normal monster, which is funny. It's insane. It's honestly insane. The fusion provides, again, like the fusion monster provides so much utility. Like it's crazy, guys. Honestly, it's very, very crazy. So this is really, really good. This is the only normal monster I'm running in the deck, by the way. I don't want to run the other level 4s or the other ones. This card's actually really, really good. And the fact that you can just overlay it and just get Lars again, like that's a double negate. So guys, it's really good. Zeno, you have to run this too. Again, this card is nuts too. Because this card can play around any single hand trap, and people don't really know how to. If you know how to use this card, you can play around any hand trap. I guarantee you can play around any single hand trap. This card's broken. Okay, this card's broken. The fact that you can pop and just like if you pop a baby, you get 2 monsters. Like that's nuts. That's literally nuts. You pop 1 baby, you get 2 monsters. Yes, you are locked when you do that. But however, like it doesn't matter. Like literally my whole most of my extra deck, it just consists of either Xing or just Sea Serpents, Dragons, and Dinosaur. And some people forget that there's some cards in my extra deck that they're like, you can go to that? You can go to that with this card? Yes, you can. This card, guys, just so good. But at the same time, when you add this produces honestly, this produces way better boards than this card. So if you know your opponent doesn't really have a hand trap to really hurt you, I mean, you can play around Ash either way, but when you add this, it's a lot better, in my opinion. You just got to make sure your opponent doesn't really, I guess, drill you. If they drill you, then yeah, you're kind of screwed when you add this, but if they drill you and you add this, you're safe. You're fine. Okay. That's it for that. And then 1 Giant Rex. Honestly, you need it. I mean, this card's really good, especially the stuff that I'm running that I'm going to show you guys. This card's really, really good. Banish it, bring it back out. UCT it, bring it back out. Honestly, like almost half your deck banishes it anyways. Even Even the miscellaneous, even the miscellaneous banishes it, so it's really really good. Yes, we're running the scrap package. So double scrap raptor, one chimera. This package is honestly really really good. I don't think I will take it out unless I might. Okay, it's just so good. But I might if they bring Mist to 3. I might because at that point, Mist to 3 is just insane. But I might. The reason why this engine is really good and people don't know is that you could also, there's times where if you have sometimes people think that this and pill is like a dead hand at times. It's not, because you could honestly just like summon this, pop itself, and then add the scrap chimera, normal the scrap chimera, specials this. You could also like go to your link, and then the link monster revive the scrap monster, and then you pop this one. You go to scrap wyvern, then you special summon this, pop that. Chain 1 special, chain 2 add, and then you kind of go from there. So you add this. This is on field, and you pop a card. You can pop whatever you want. So I mean, from there, like you can literally have enough resource to literally just link climb and just pop your own cards and just kind of have utility just for this double evolution, and you have like an extra body on board just for UCT. So honestly, it's not a dead card. It's not a dead hand. But yeah, I mean, would you want a better hand? Yes, of course. But regardless, there's times where these cards are not even bricks, so it's still really really good. There's a game where I just won with scrap chimera, but but yeah. But yeah, that's that. Then the hand traps, double ash, double droll, and then the one imperm. So you could take the drolls out and put 3 impermanents, or you can put 3 ashes. Honestly, in my opinion, sorry, my bad. Honestly, in my opinion, that the drolls actually came in clutch a lot, because I think in my locals, or like all the other locals that I go to, they always like be running like any heavy search reliant deck, right? Whether it's a Menadium, whether it's a Flundereeze deck. I mean, even though Flundereeze can play around draw a little bit, but they're always like heavy reliant on searching, which I get it with, and I'm also running a heavy search deck too. So I guess at that point, everybody will be maining drolls. So this card did come in clutch a lot. Like, you guys have no idea how much this card came in clutch, but arguably you can cut this card, side it out. I heard people are siding it out now. You can run 3 imperms, and yes, I am running the 1 imperm because honestly, like, I do want to add more because imperm's such a good card. However, like, I just couldn't. Honestly, I just couldn't. This deck is so tight. Like, if I add another one, I'd start bricking like crazy. Because sometimes unfortunately dinos are kind of sensitive in bricking. However, my version, I play tested a lot. I rarely brick here and there. It's actually really really good. But and the hands that you think are bricks are actually not bricks. So I just want to put that out there. But the 1 imperm does come in clutch a lot. I always draw it, so I never really miss it. And there's times where I set this, and there's time where my opponent, would activate Dark Ruler, and then I just use Imperm, and then it will negate the Dark Ruler because it's on the column. There's times where people forget that. So yeah, this card comes in clutch a lot, and I always draw it, so I never really miss it. Also been drawing the draw a lot too, so really really good card. Okay, all right, now here's a little spice part. Okay, I run double Unicorn, triple Fenrir, and then the 1 Rice Heart. All right, so yes, this is Dino-Cash. 2 of my favorite decks. All right, 2 of my favorite decks. The only problem is that Fenrir, I don't know if it's going to get hit or not. I guess we'll see what Konami does with this card. You can arguably play it even if it gets semi-limited. When it gets limited, maybe, I don't know, maybe I'll start thinking of other ways to play with this deck. But regardless, like this helped a lot. Yeah, guys have no idea how much this package helped. And who would have known, right? Just combining those 2 decks meshed together, it actually blends very, very well. You have no idea how helpful this engine is. The fact that you go one route, they negate that route. You go this route, and it's just honestly nonstop. It's just nonstop because since you're running this part, you literally you can literally just go unicorn effect add and just kind of go off combo there. There's times where my opponent just thought they're just playing against the cash deck, so they're like, okay, I'm just gonna imperm this and that's it, or ash a certain stop point, right? Or there's times where I summon the Rise Heart, and then they ash it or imperm it, and then I'm like, okay, cool. Well, I can still not only XZ for this turn, which basically Lars, Dolka, Lagia, they're all XZs, but I could also bring out UCT, and that's a big deal. That's enough. So while this part special summoning, my other even though my dinos do special summon, but I also need my normal summon for my dinos. So I realized that basically I'm not really wasting anything. It's actually helping me a lot because I'm just special summoning these cards, and then I'm just normal summoning my other monsters. There is times where I do normal summon these guys, but most of the times I just bring these guys out. Sometimes you can even bluff any hand trap, depending on how you sequence it properly. Like, there's no getting around it. I mean, I love this. I love Cash. I love Dinos. Meshing it together was just a blessing in disguise. I know this deck has been around a while. I just haven't really seen it myself or playtested myself. So I kind of just meshed it together out of curiosity. And it's honestly, it's really, really good. I love it. The synergy that Fenrir has, the synergy that even Unicorn has, and then the Rise Heart, it's just really, really busted. So honestly, I definitely love this package, and the fact that even you just have Fenrir on field, and then you just if you want, you can just normal summon like Oviraptor. If they even hand trapped it, hey, I mean, you can just get rid of something on the field. Or even there's times where I just had Unicorn on field and they hand trapped me. I was like, okay, I'll just look at your extra deck, see what you're playing, and banish that off. So I mean, either way, like it's busted, guys. It's honestly really, really good, and I just, oh my gosh, it's crazy, guys. It's really crazy. One Birth, one Theosis, and one Planet. Again, you have to run the one-ofs. You don't want to brick on these cards because you are running a heavy Dino deck. So again, you got to treat it kind of like an engine. So yeah, you just have to run the one-ofs. Theosis is good. Birth is good. Planet is good. And there's times, guys, where even the pill, there's times where you, like again, because they're psychics, they're not dinos, so they're non-dinos, and it's actually really good too because with Birth, even with Birth, and then you have the pill, you banish like any one of these guys, and then obviously like the one of these guys and the one dino, right? Or like the even better, right? You can banish that and the Giant Rex, and you can bring your big boss monster. And then you can birth the unicorn, and this comes out because it was banished. And it just, again, you can just start the whole chain again. I mean, the whole combo line again. So it's just nutty, guys. It's just, honestly, it's amazing how well Kashtira actually mesh wells with the dino. So it's really, really good. Obviously, since we're playing the planet, we're running one Lost World and one Terraforming. Again, like really good, especially since you basically run 2 copies of both and you never really miss it. So Lost World is just really good. Again, people forget that they can't target their own monsters with the token, so it's really, it actually comes in clutch a lot. Terraforming is again, like, honestly, Terraforming is just, I love Terraforming. Just the fact that it can just act as any field spell, basically. It's just broken. Yeah, these 2 cards are just really, really good. And even like your UCT with this card, it just boosts up the attack a lot more. Oh my gosh. And there's times where I even boosted up Appaloosa to 800, even like 800 more. So again, like this card's good. This card's good. This card's good. Even the attack reduction, people keep forgetting that it reduces the attack. So again, really good card. So, but yeah, that's that. Okay. And then obviously we run the 3 Rota of the deck, 3 Fossil Dig. And you know your boy had to get the quarter century rares off of these guys. So yeah, pretty self-explanatory. I don't think I really need to explain that. Just search any level 6. And this can search your normal monster or your Zeno. So really, really good. 3 Grand Zeno, you have to run it. This card, honestly, it's a really good addition to the deck. Just, pop anything. Go add basically anything and then pop anything in your hand. The popping in hand doesn't really have to be like a dinosaur. It can be any card. So it's actually really good, and you can just bring out the Meteosaurus from there. So I will tell you guys that there's times where if you have this, this, and let's say for example you had Meteosaurus, or not Meteosaurus, my bad. Like I guess any dino in hand other than Meteosaurus. So if you have this and like like another card in your hand, right? You use this, add Meteosaurus. If you have another card in your hand, you just pop this out, bring out that. And that's assuming obviously you have Unicorn on field. So if you had Unicorn on field, use this, bring out him, and you can full combo first. So you full combo Unicorn first, and then do this. And then when you have a board, basically just with cash monsters, you enter board with like, for example, like Meteosaurus. This doesn't have to be baby, by the way. This could be any dino. So you just pop the dino, bring the 6, and you get your Lars from there. So you have an Omni negate. You have an Omni negate with the full cash board. So that's honestly pretty toxic in my opinion. So again, like it's just nuts how well like these cards mesh together. And honestly, like I've been having so much success with it, guys. You have no idea. All right. And then double evolution, you kind of have to. You're playing dinos. This card's really good too. Double pros. I couldn't fit the third one, and I know you guys are like, you can literally just plug it in. Yes and no. There's times where I actually just drew 2 prosperities all the time. At least in this number, if I think this number, I always see it and I never see it at the same time, and I think it's okay. I actually like seeing this card, but I won't see it. I won't see like a second one, and that's what I don't want to see. You don't want to see two copies of these in your hand all the time. You at least want to see like a combo piece or something you can do to get around certain hand traps. But yeah, this card's really, really good. If they semi-limited, cool. Only running 2 anyways. All right, semi-limited Konami, please semi-limit this card. Ain't gonna do much to me. One Kashtira Big Bang. Yes, I am running this card. I know people are like, what are you doing? Hey, I won with this card. Just letting you know, I won with this card. There's times where people didn't respect it. There's times where I just set this, and I had a Shangri-La and a couple of monsters on board, and my opponent just went off. He went off. Then I was able to activate the Big Bang, banishing all other cards on the field except for 1 on each field, and then from there, like, you couldn't really do anything. There's times where your opponent doesn't respect this card. It's crazy. And by the way, this card does need to get a hollow treatment, by the way. Just saying. All right. So then that's it for the main deck. The main deck is at 44. I tried cutting it down, guys, to 40. I love 40 decks. I love 40 card decks. However, like, it's hard. It was really hard to cut cards. I tried cutting hand traps, but then you're like, man, I really need the hand traps for certain matchups. So it's just so hard. I mean, you can't even cut the scrap engine. You can't even cut really anything in this build. So everything in here is just perfect, in my opinion. So 1 Link Karibo with the 1 Secure Gardena. Again, if it comes worst to worst, 1 Link Karibo, bam, Secure Gardena with the pill. UCT. It's always good. You always need it. Yeah, enough said. 1 Cross Sheep. This card, you need it. It's a necessity with your combo lineup, especially when you add the normal monster. You're going to end up needing this because honestly, the big combo lineup, it's honestly really, really good. And that's honestly assuming that if your opponent doesn't really like draw a lot of hand traps, because if that's the case, then yeah, you're kind of screwed, like I said before. But if your opponent has nothing, no responses, and you're popping off, add the normal monster, go this play. Cross Sheep, bring it. Literally, this brings back Baby from grave, and then you start popping off even more. It's just crazy, guys. So in a way, this card's an extender. So really, really, really good extender. 1 Scrap Wyvern. It's like, speaking of extenders, really good card. There's times where my opponents didn't know that it pops cards on the field. So I know a lot of times with this combo, I do pop my cards a lot. I've been popping my cards a lot, especially when I have the Baby. And my special summon 1 from deck. I end up popping, my Baby to get another like a Giant Rex. But there's times where like instead of doing that, I'll just pop a card on their field, and they're just like, wait, what's going on. So yeah, this card's I like this card. This card's really good. But yeah, the one Scrap Wyvern, one Appaloosa, and then the one Underworld Goddess. These two paired up together, it's actually really disgusting. I know everyone knows Appaloosa. Again, amazing negate. You kind of have to run it, especially in this build. Really good card. Before the Underworld Goddess, honestly, like, what does Dino struggle against? And I know, like, yes, I do run the planet and I do get the boost of attack, but still, it doesn't matter. There's times where, like, you may get a matchup, especially how diverse this format is. You never know what you're going to go up against. Your opponent could be running something, for example, like a boss monster, right? Boss monster you just cannot get rid of. It's unaffected. It's, you just can't get rid of it. In a way, like, this is like your own kaiju. And there's times, yes, there is times where you actually can play around everything but that monster. But when it comes to it, you actually have to get over that monster. So this is my way of getting over those type of monsters. This is also another way to get rid of monsters in general. So it's actually a really good card. And then negates cards like Monster Reborn anyway. So really good card. That's it for the links. Then we go to the Doka, Lagia, and Lars. Yep. Oh, by the way, guys, I didn't even tell you. I'm just letting you know that even if you go Zeno, you can still go the scrap route, by the way, okay? Because it's a dragon, and these are all dragons, by the way. So people didn't know that. Yeah, so this is the dragon. All right, so that I'm saying, like, it's actually really good. The synergy that the scrap engine has in this deck is actually really good too. But yes, one Dolka, one Lagia, one Lars. I would love to put, either two Lagia or sometimes even two Dolka, but it's just really tight, guys. It's just really tight. Lars is just, it's so good, guys. There's times where I just end up with just the Dolka and Lars, and honestly, you basically, theoretically, you have a spell and trap, two spell and trap negates, and two monster negates. So theoretically, these it's just 4 negates. You have 4 negates on the field with just 2 monsters, which is actually really insane. And then you have the Logia, which actually can negate any spells and traps and summons. That people forget that this can negate summons. There's times where I just most of the time I just end up with a Logia. But if not, there's times where I was able to end up with these two, and honestly, it's really good. Lars, again, I don't know what Konami was thinking about making this card. It's just, card is really good. It just negates, it can just negate anything and everything. It's just crazy. Okay. And then I run double Shangri-Ira. Great card. Enough said. I mean, again, like, people don't respect it, especially since I'm running dinos and they don't see it coming. And then when I, bring this out, start locking their zones. It's funny too, because I can lock their zones and give them a token, and then they can't target. So it's crazy. Honestly, it's really crazy. Even if I don't have the Lost World, it's fine. I mean, I can still run the planet, have an interruption, special summon the Friend Ruin deck. It's really good. Your opponent has to respect that card. This card, your opponent has to respect this card. It's just really insane. One Dark Arm. So again, actually, this card comes in clutch a lot, and it saved me so many games, guys. Because there's a point where your opponent's gonna know that you're playing, Dino-Cash. Like, okay, the gig is up. I know you're playing Dino-Cash. But sometimes they don't know that I actually have this card. So there's times where I was able to go full combo with the cash part, and they stopped it at a certain point. I wasn't able to push a little further, but I was still able to manage to make this, and basically getting rid of all their cards on the field. They have to respect this, and they have to find a way to get rid of this, because if not, I'm just gonna pop their field basically. And there's a time where there's plenty of times where they got rid of this because they respected this card. And so they respected this card, and basically I just full comboed with my Dino build from there at that point, So again, this card's such an amazing card, and the fact that it could also just banish your cash cards, and guys, like, this card's really good in this deck. And I mean, it can banish your Dino monsters too. So I mean, that's also beneficial. But that's it for the XZs. For the synchros, we run one Omega, and then one Baron. You can make Baron with just basic summon Ash and summon Unicorn. Bam, Baron. You could also make Baron with the level 4. So you got 2 ways making this. So you got two ways of making this, and it's honestly really, really insane. Mega is really, really good. It can recur your normal monster that you just banished off of like a combo with the. I mean, you sometimes you'll be banishing your normal monster with Mist, so this can recur your normal monster. This card can recur Mist. It's just really good. Secures your comeback plays, so really, really good. Recursion at its finest right here. And then Baron, again, really good card. Pop cards, Omni Negate. Who doesn't like an Omni Negate? Really good card. Last but not least, the Transcendosaurus. Guys, this card's nuts. I mean, not only, if you guys notice, not only that you guys can literally use basically almost any mechanic on the extra deck. You got the links, you got the XZs, you got the synchros, and then you got the fusion. You got everything in there. Not only that, you can do that with this deck. So basically, D-Berry doesn't really do anything to your deck because you literally can go any route, and you honestly don't even need your extra deck at times. You honestly just UCT is enough. So honestly, like it's crazy, guys. It's crazy. But this card, not only that you can add any Dino monster from your graveyard, so recursion. When it's special summoned from the graveyard, you get to pop two cards basically, one on your field or hand, and then one on your opponent's field. So the fact that you can just pop, the fact that it's an interruption and recursion, it's crazy. It's just absolutely nuts, and it's crazy. And the fact that it's 38. And sometimes this card actually does get around a lot of big boss monsters at times because you have this and then you have the planet. This card's just gaining attack. There's times where I had this at 42 or 43, and then I was able to just swing over the big boss monsters that I wasn't able to swing over before, and it actually came in clutch. So yeah, this card's insane, guys. This card's really insane. And then your 3 Dirac tokens. You really need it. If you don't run it, oof, you're gonna break a lot. Next, I'm going to the side deck. Again, side deck is totally up to you guys. You don't have to run the same side deck as I do. But again, I might change it too. I might really change it, but just depends. We run 3 evenly match. Again, you have to run this card. I respect back row. I respect basically any board that just floods their board with monsters or back row. So you have to run 3 evenly matches. I think it's kind of a staple at this point for the side deck. And then 3 anti-spell. Really good card. Honestly, like you have to run this card. If you're playing dinos, you have to run this card. You have to run this. So let me tell you, you guys actually have to run this. You have to run this and 3 Solemn Judgment. Everything else, I'd say change it up. Okay, you can change it up. It's fine. Everything else you can change it up. You don't even have to run the 3 evenly. But honestly, like these together is really, really, you have to. And here's the reason why. One, your deck loses to a lot of like board breakers, and a lot of the board breakers that break your boards is like Dark Ruler. It's also what was it, like Tactics too can actually break your board too. If you're not careful, you just steal your UCT, and then they could either you use your UCT now or not, because at this point, like, they're just gonna take your monster. And there were times where they just took over my UCT, and I didn't have these cards. So, but now since I did, they did not expect it. It does hurt. My bad. It does hurt Dark Ruler, and honestly, Dark Ruler is a bane of this deck, and I hate Dark Ruler. So this came in clutch a lot. Honestly, like, guys, I won so many of my matches with this in my side deck. I mean, going first, your opponent's like, man, I'm just gonna like Dark Ruler the field, and I don't have to think nothing of it. There's times even when they Kaiju'd or Lava Golem, and I had this set, it was still enough. There's times where they did that and I had this set, it was still enough. So yeah, came in clutch a lot. The triple Dark speaking of the devil, right? Triple Dark Ruler, really good card, especially since we're basically in a format where your opponent could just summon a bunch of monsters and just negate a bunch of stuff. So you really have to run this. Again, really, really good card. I don't think I'm gonna take it out anytime soon, especially because of this format. But yeah, again, I love how diverse this format is, by the way. 1 Lightning Storm, thinking of opening, maybe increasing this, or maybe put Harpies. I don't know. I do like Harpies. So I'd say if you want to side Harpies, go for it. I think that's actually a better choice. You can even cut 1 evenly to put the Harpies. But I might do that. We'll see. The Lightning Storm is really, really good. I actually used it in a game before, and I think I won that matchup. So it comes in clutch at times. The third draw and then the third Ash. Again, really good against Branded and any other deck that Ash can hurt. And then draw. Draw is draw, guys. I don't think I really need to explain that, especially in this format. But yeah, that's it for the deck profile, guys. Stay tuned. I will be doing a combo, especially like, go ahead and tell me if you guys want a combo. Because I think for the most part I have explained little chunks here and there already in my channel. But if you guys want a refresher, you guys want the combo, especially with the Kashtira, I would definitely love to show you guys the Kashtira and the Dino. Especially the synergy that these two have is crazy. It's absolutely crazy. But yeah, guys, thank you so much. Again, definitely like, comment, subscribe. And yeah, just I loving the support that you guys are giving me, and I'm definitely gonna start posting more Dino content. Dinos is not dead yet, guys. I don't know what anyone's tripping. Respect Misk or else this game at that point, right? Respect UCT as well. Respect even the cash build at this point. So, but yeah, guys, thank you guys so much for your support. Comment down below on what you guys think. Comment if you guys either want different decks, you want the same deck. I am gonna start pushing more Dino content. I have been kind of neglecting this deck for a little while now, and nope, not anymore. I love how diverse this format is, to the point where I can literally just whip out this deck and just kind of shove the cash engine in there and do really, really well, guys. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. This is your boy Donald John here, signing out. Peace.